Hi, I'm Roberta. Welcome to my kitchen, my southern kitchen, where we're going to be making biscuits with my friend Morgan McGlone. Now, biscuits are like naughty scones, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like a savoury scone, I guess. Eaten quite, regularly with either a gravy, which is kind of like a bechamel with some sausage. They call it sausage gravy, or jam. They do it with jam.
So they can be sweet or savoury.
Can be sweet or savoury, but there's actually no sugar in like scones, I guess. That sometimes you make in English-style kitchens.
But there is lots of butter, which is why I say they're naughty. They are so good. I remember the first time you made these for me. They changed my life, and they're so simple.
Yes, there's very few ingredients. So we've got our flour here, which we're just going to use this whisk to whisk out and aerate the flour. We're going to add our salt and baking powder, and that will allow us to just get it evenly through our mixture, which we want to try to achieve there. Just give it a bit of a whisk, and then I'm going to make a small well. And then what I'm going to do, which is something that I learned at Husk, is that we have frozen butter, and the frozen butter will basically, when you're just going to use your cheese, like a box grater or cheese grater, that's completely fine.
So this is one of these tips. This is something that not everyone does, right?
Yeah, this is like a tip that I learned. I was like, man, frozen butter. But it does make a lot of sense, like with puff pastry, when you laminate. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, if you don't know.
So you do this for puff as well?
Yeah, I mean, butter and flour in puff pastry it creates the steam from the butter, creates air which puffs up the thing. That does the same like technique for biscuits. That's what we're using this grated butter, frozen butter.
Okay, so we've got all of that grated in.
All in there, like so. But just make sure we take off the edges.
Waste not, want not.
You want to use all those pieces, and then you just want to sort of like move your butter around evenly to your flour. Make a well. And we're going to add in our buttermilk, like so. Beautiful peppy say buttermilk, beautiful. Oh man,
so you need to give it a good stir.
Just make sure it gets in there. And that buttermilk will give it some really nice acidity. And then we're just going to, with our hands, see if we've got enough wet ingredients. We're going to fold everything in. You want to work this pretty quick, Roberta. It's very important.
So we want that butter to stay cold.
Absolutely.
We're not rubbing it in like we do with pastry. Yeah. We want those flakes of butter.
We want flakes of butter to like disperse, and then they create those really beautiful pockets of deliciousness. And now we're going to turn out our mixture onto the bench, a flour bench. You generously did that for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Then we're just going to basically bring our mixture together. Knead it not so much. We don't want to knead it too much.
So this is one thing that I do remember from scones that has in common. You handle it as little as possible, right?
Yes. But we want to kind of like create like almost like a flattened surface, and we're going to make folds.
I'm going to get that brush out of your way too, Chef. We don't
We're
need
going to
that
make folds here. Now, it might seem that it's really dry mix, but you've got everything in here. You're going to make a first fold like we just did there, and you'll see that there's some, like so, pushing it down. You can use a rolling pin if you've got it, but I don't think it's necessary for this amount. You can see with your hand, you don't need to be super even, and then you can feel underneath it's gone dry. So we're going to take this dry mixture here, and we're going to put it on top, and we're going to press down again.
So it's this folding and turning that gives us the layering and the lightness when it's like a rough puff, really.
Yeah, it is, because basically what's happened now is the butter has been dispersed quite randomly, but it will create these pockets of like beautiful like puff that you get from the frozen butter.
So can I just clarify, because it's not always easy to see what's happening here. Every time you fold it, you turn it 90 degrees.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's
and you keep going in the one direction?
That's kind of more from a working as a pastry chef. So not really, there's no rhyme or reason with it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and then I kind of like square it up now, because we're probably in a position now where we can start cutting. Actually, we can do one more fold. Let's do one more fold.
One more fold. The more
So-
folds, the better, right?
Yeah,
Within
but
reason.
like we don't want to be working it too much. You can see it's starting to get warm now.
Yep.
So one more fold like so, and then we need to just push it out. You can see the beautiful black specks of pepper there.
And lots of butter still speckled through it. So Moggy, I think it's really interesting that there's still so much butter visible there. We really don't want to mix it through,
No.
do we?
We don't want that butter to be melted. You can see it's quite solidified there, and we get these beautiful black specks of pepper through there as well.
Awesome. All right, so now we cut.
So basically what I suggest you have is your cutter and in some beautiful flour there, because when we go to cut, we want to make sure that we're going to cut clean away from the biscuit mix. So I'll go right in here, right to the edge. You want to use as much as the biscuit mix as possible, cutting away, and with your finger just pushing out through, and you'll see there. You can even see there.
You can see the layers.
Yeah.
Now if we were making more, I'd give you a baking tray, but I think just a little
perfect.
oven-proof frying pan works for this quantity.
I'm going to push it out the second one, like so, and then I'll have to do, what you can do is, I'll probably get another one here, right here, probably push it down a touch. I'm going to get another one here, just...
Because when you press down, it expands, so you don't have to have you don't have to be too precise, do you?
Yeah, so and you want to have them connecting together, so when they rise, they go.
So in the pan, we put them all next to each other.
And then this one here, we can just mould into another flat piece. Don't try to make it too, like so. You don't have to think there, and then we're just going to cut this third one here.
And I'm going to eat the leftover raw dough.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Like so. And just before we put in our oven at 225, we're going to brush the tops of our biscuits with Pepsi buttermilk.
Now we could use regular milk, couldn't we? But we've got buttermilk here because we put it in. So, and does that just help brown it?
Yeah, it just kind of gives a nice colour and nice golden brown colour on top.
All right. Now this is one thing where I think the timing is pretty precise. It depends on your oven, but we say 13 minutes, right?
13 minutes.
Maybe check it after 10 because every oven's different, but I know with my oven, 13's spot on. Let's get it in the oven. Oh my goodness, Morgie, your biscuits are better than my biscuits. I think maybe you've done this for a few more years than I have. They are so fluffy and light.
You can see how they've layered up as well.
Yes. Look, I just want to show you, can you see the striations in there? That's about the folds, right, Morgan?
100%. So I think the best way to sort of finish these off and make them even more decadent is just to brush them with some more melted butter.
It certainly makes them look gorgeous too, doesn't it?
And then they give a nice gloss as well, and you'll find that they'll just...
So this was obviously the last guy. He's a bit misshapen, but he's going to taste just as good, isn't he?
Just tastes all the same.
And we're going to serve these with your fried chicken. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to lunch. Yum.
There we go.
Buttermilk biscuits, naughty scones. Enjoy. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.